Okay, welcome to this video where we're going to use a couple of things to help students understand the process of multiplying two numbers together. In this case, 23 times 4. 23 can be represented as 2 10s and 3 1s. And we've got 4 groups of 23 here. Now, we could add these together to get the answer, but unfortunately, staying in additive thinking can be a real roadblock for some students. So we want them to see the 4 groups of 23 and start using multiplication to solve it. What we can see here is that we've almost got a rectangle, if we're imaginative enough. So we've got a rectangle where there are 4 groups down here by 23. Each group has 23 in it. And in fact, every time we multiply, we can represent it using either groups with the same amount in each group or as an array / grid. So a rectangle, and those of you who remember doing area problems will remember that we times the width by the length. It's the same thing. We can represent any multiplication using a rectangle. Now, where that's useful is when we partition our numbers. So rather than just following blindly through a process, what we're going to do is partition 23 into 2 10s or 20 plus 3. And we're going to make that 2 rectangles. A 4 by 20 rectangle and a 4 by 3 rectangle. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 20 is 80. Now, how do we link this representation to our multiplication up here? Well, chances are your students will be setting out the problem like this, and they'll usually solve it on one line. We're going to use 2 lines, and the reason is we're going to show each step without combining the 2 steps together. That will come later. So 4 times 3 was 12, as we saw here. Plus, we need to add the other rectangle. Pick a different colour. This one here. We need to add that rectangle, which was 80, to get the combined rectangle of 4 by 23. Which is 92.